does.
So, moving on to the second segment is kind of a new thing. So it's we'll call it football moments. So big moments that have happened in the weekend. So we're going to put some snapshots and some videos up of what's happened within the week of football that might put a bit of a smile on your face if your team, Arsenal, haven't performed since coming back from lockdown. So the first thing that I think is the funniest is it's happened today actually, and it's Andy Carroll.
Yeah.
With his beard. So I'll put a picture up now of Andy Carroll.
Well, I can't fault him, to be honest.
What do we think, guys?
I can't fault him. He's obviously stuck to his the lockdown and not gone and got a haircut. And also, for some reason, he doesn't own a beard trimmer that actually.
Do we reckon it's
in a shape that looks good?
He's done it on purpose, or do we reckon that his beard trimmer broke?
He's got to have broke, surely.
But I just don't know if that is the case and it is broke there. One, why on earth would you start with that part of your chin or your face to shave? And two, if it's not broken, how can you look in the mirror and openly leave the house looking with that state of a beard?
Yeah, getting back to a barber's as soon as possible.
I mean, the guy is on a pay-by-play contract, so he might have forgot to he might not have enough money to put in the meter. That is a big point. So the next funniest thing is when Eric Garcia sadly gets absolutely flattened. If you look in the background, there is a guy in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen cheering for Eric Garcia to be stretchered off the pitch.
Yeah, they're a bit weird, these. They're like the fans on Zoom, aren't they? Or some kind of video.
Yeah, the worst thing is I dread to know how much they're paying to be put on that.
Yeah, and then they put them behind the goals on the screens. It's a bit weird, to be honest.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see if there's any need to. The funniest thing was that Man City couldn't even fill all their spaces. So
they couldn't. They had to fill it with the Premier League badges at the bottom.
Yeah, which is better.
But it's just funny looking at this geezer just cheering of his own player having to be stretched off after a nasty collision.
By his own goalkeeper.
But yeah, go on, lad, go on. I mean, they've got a centre-back problem as it is.
Yeah.
On to the next one. You don't really know much about this, but it's happened in Russia. So,
yeah,
in Russia, I'll read it out. Despite 6 Rostov players testing positive for COVID-19 and 42 players and staff going into 14-day quarantine, Sochi, which is the opposite team, refused to postpone their game against Rostov. So they were forced to play their youth team, the youngest being 16, who hadn't trained in 3 months. So first of all, what do you think of that?
What happens in Russia?
I'm surprised they didn't get bears to go and play for him with little unicycles. Can I say that?
Probably not, but it was just bonkers, wasn't it? That's like. Well, I was going to say that's like in England where you have under 21s teams playing, but we literally had that this season with Liverpool. So we can't really say anything. We haven't got really moral high ground, have we?
That's bad though from the footballing associate. Well, not football association, but the
authorities,
the governing body of football. For not allowing that game to be postponed, and from the other team, that just shows awful sportsmanship.
Yeah.
And so if we carry on with the story, the youngsters actually went 1-0 up inside the first minute, which they must have thought, "Wow, we're sick," and then by the end they lost 10-1.
Which I think is a pretty good scoreline to say you've not trained for 3 months and you're 16 years old.
Exactly, which is even more bonkers. Although he conceded 10 goals, Rostov's 17-year-old keeper, Denis Popov, was given a Man of Match award after saving a league record 15 shots. Which is absolutely outrageous. And another one, The Simpsons predict everything. I don't know if you've seen this, Kaz, but at Jen Duzawi, or whatever he is, who strangled Morpie, there's a picture of Sideshow Bob strangling Bart Simpson in his sleep. So people are now putting up that the Simpsons predict everything, even this guy grabbing Morpie and throwing him to the floor. Gotta love this.
I've seen it all.
Gotta love the Simpsons. Right, moving on to the David Luiz mistake again. Not consistent. Can't be relied upon at all in any situation whatsoever.
Like I mentioned earlier, that's his Arsenal career pretty much over, I think.
And then you got the segment on. So another funny thing is you can't rely on goal line technology anymore. Toss, simple.
Yeah, I think there needs to be some changes to VAR, doesn't there? To say that we still look at every goal, no goal, even if VAR, the goal line technology has said goal or not actually hinted anything, that it should still be checked if it could potentially be over the line. Of course, it's not like they need to keep the game running at a pace anymore, is there?
No.
There's no fans in the ground. They're stopping twice in a game for drinks break.
I'm not a fan of that.
I'm not a fan of it, but it means, so why do we have to stop for? Why don't we stop for VAR now after goal?
I think the reason that we have to stop for drinks breaks is because if you catch the virus while playing, it flushes it out your system if you're drinking water.
And also, you've got the thing where the players aren't match fit, are they? So they need
not.
fluids coming on. So it's a good idea, but it's a bit silly when we're going to be playing World Cups in these big countries and not hot countries and not having drinks breaks, and we've got drinks breaks in the Premier League. But there we go.
Right, so moving on from the funny moments and the bizarre moments of the Premier League this season, well, not just Premier League, moving on to a few questions that a lot of people have had and asked over the restart of the Premier League.